It's time for another food review of something I'm about to eat. If you didn't see my birria burrito review, it was pretty good, but it left me still hungry, so I'm gonna eat something else on top of it. Probably an unhealthy amount of something else, because here's what I've got in mind. Oh yeah, Snapdragon Vietnamese beef flavored noodle soup. Now, much like the birria burrito, this is one of those things that really should not be in this form, because most of what makes it special is the slow cooking, the very rich, deep flavors, and it's another cultural trend food from another country, obviously Vietnam in this case. When I was growing up, nobody knew what pho was. I had a Vietnamese friend who introduced me to it, and I would get it at restaurants, and I love it at restaurants. One of my favorite things to eat out, but it's caught on over time, and this came from Costco. Now, what's fun about this is that it's rare you see a food with this many different things that go into it. We've got the aromatics package, which honestly does not contribute that much to the flavor of this particular soup. We have flavor goop. That's literally what it's called. Cute. We have dragon tears. Ooh, so spicy it makes dragons cry. Doubt. And I'll probably be putting more spicy into this. And then we have a packet of vegetables. So let's get it all added in. Let's see, what all you add first? Vegetables and aromatic pouch. Set aside soup paste and sriracha. Fill with hot water to the line. Close lid and close for 3 minutes and have happy thoughts. No, we're doing the microwave version. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just that you do it in the microwave instead of heating the water first. There's the whip. And make sure that's low enough in there that it be steeped in the water. I think I went over the fill line. That was fine. I'm gonna put some paper towels in there so that when it inevitably spills over, it doesn't make a huge mess. Okay. Yeah, Trixie, why don't you clean your microwave before showing it to the internet? Look, you see how there's still 3 of these left? I think we might have had 2 whole boxes of these, but this has lasted forever. These have taken like at least 3 months, maybe more, maybe closer to 5 months. It's been a while trying to get through all these, because I'm the only one who eats them, and you'll find out why that is the case soon. Alright, 290 calories, so a little less than the birria burrito, but this doesn't have any meat in it. It's all that calories is just from the soup base and the flavor. The aromatic pouch is just spices. Well, which ones, who knows. It's done being microwaved. Impressively, actually didn't spill. Pull out the aromatics packet now that it's contributed, and then we're gonna add in these 2. So this is how it looks without mixing it. You got a dollop of sriracha, and then this goop, flavor goop, that I guess is like a combination of beef broth, and maybe it's got some of the hoisin sauce flavor. I don't know. Problematically, I am out of hoisin sauce, and I also forgot that last time I made this, I used pork ramen broth instead of water, and that did improve it a lot. I'm tempted to pour some in, but it's already been cooked, so it's a little late for that. I mean, it wouldn't really be fair for this review to review it too modified, but I highly recommend if you're at Costco, get the tonkatsu ramen broth, cook your rice in this instead of water, cook your ramen in this instead of water. It just improves pretty much any kind of starch that it's used on. And since there's not nearly enough hot in there, let's add some scorpion pepper hot sauce. I promise this won't make it taste any worse. It can only make it taste better. Fuck it, let's toss some garlic in there too. Okay, now I'm gonna take this upstairs and stir it up. Now, should you find yourself buying these pho bowls, be sure that you have wooden chopsticks to eat it with. Not because of any kind of like etiquette reasons or any pretentious shit, just because these are almost ungrabbable with a metal fork. They will slip right off. If you have metal chopsticks like they use in Korea, probably not going to help either, unless you got a real tight grip. But eating this with a fork is so difficult, and like we didn't have chopsticks for a little while, just because we moved and I don't know what happened to the ones I used to have, but I went out and bought chopsticks mostly out of being inspired by trying to eat this shit with a fork and just absolutely failing. Now, if you are a fan of pho, you may have already noticed something a little off, because these don't look like pho noodles at all. They do somewhat resemble the flat vermicelli noodles that you can get at certain pho places. Some places do serve flat noodles, but you will usually see thick flat noodles. These very thin rice noodles, this is not usually what you're gonna expect from pho. I mean, already the fact that it's an instant pho is like a bit whatever. Like, instant ramen, already not a great idea just compared to regular ramen. Like, it's really a different category. But pho, even more so than ramen, is something that is special because of that it's difficult to like make at home. It involves like stewing bone broth for 10 hours basically in order to get the flavor of pho. So like if you're eating it in a form like this, much like with the birria, this is like the most lessened, far from home version of what it is that it could possibly be. All right. Moment of truth time. Check out my cool pajamas. Let's see how this is. Moving my coffee out of the way. The chopsticks definitely help a lot with accessibility. Like if I was trying to do this with a fork, I would have already lost 5 attempts at picking this up. So these noodles are so thin. They don't even taste like rice. They taste like nothing. The noodles taste like consuming nothingness. They taste like rice paper. But even weaker than like if you got spring rolls that had like a rice wrap around them, that would have a stronger flavor than these noodles have. The noodles are... They don't have the ability to soak up enough because there's not enough there. And they're so like textureless. They just don't have anything for flavor to grab onto. So it's more like the broth that happens to be trapped between the noodles when you pick up a lot of them. That's where you're getting flavor from. But the noodles themselves have nothing. Whenever I eat this, I'm struck with the immediate sense of, it tastes kind of like beef, but there's no beef. And, like, obviously there wouldn't be, right? But the thought of pho without beef is so bizarre. Like, it resembles the taste of pho. You can tell that it's got, like, the flavor of bone broth, the flavor of beef, very lightly. But it just doesn't have beef, and it feels so empty without it. Like, if you're eating pho at a restaurant, the presence of beef is a major part of the experience. It's basically rice noodles and beef. You can add other shit to it, but those are like the fundamentals, you know? So, beef broth with no beef. It's like that scene in the first episode of Cowboy Bebop when he makes bell peppers and beef without the beef. This is exactly the emotion that I'm experiencing. It's like, but where's the beef? I don't dislike the flavor goop taste. I think it's better. It tastes better than like a beef ramen, you know, or like a standard instant ramen. Like, even though I don't think I like these noodles as much as I like instant ramen noodles, the overall flavor is better. The flavor goop adds a lot. It's definitely been made more spicy and more flavorful by the Carolina Reaper sauce that I added. Bucky's hot sauces are the fucking shit. They're great. So, like, one of the best flavors I'm getting out of this is the Carolina Reaper flavor. And even having added that, it doesn't taste any spicier than like if I had just poured a normal amount of sriracha into the pho. So I suspect this would not even be spicy if I had not added some Carolina Reaper sauce. But now it has the level of bite I would expect from pho. I'm also not picking up on as much of the garlic that I added as I expected to. I thought because it already had garlic and I was adding garlic that it would have a prominent garlic taste, but not really. Everything is pretty diluted. The vegetables that are in there are so tiny that I'm not really sure if they're meant to be like picked up and eaten. Like, it's the littlest pieces of like corn and carrot. And I would expect that they're supposed to get stuck to the noodles, but the noodles have no friction. Like, they can't attach. I'm swiping the noodles through the vegetables, hoping to get some trapped. I have like one little piece trapped in this, oh no, it all fell away. But yeah, the dried vegetables contribute absolutely nothing to the flavor of this. The aromatics packet also did not add a whole lot. I can vaguely taste a hint of aromatic, but it is mostly the flavor of goop and hot sauce. Honestly, this is better than I remember, and I'm wondering how much of that is just because of the Carolina Reaper I added. Like, I know I'm enjoying this more than I have ever enjoyed eating it without tonkatsu broth, and so I'm like, damn, this isn't as bad as I thought it would be, but how much of that is the fucking Buc-ee's hot sauce? Definitely, as you get to the bottom, you really gotta chase the noodles around. If I didn't have wooden chopsticks, I would have already given up on trying to eat this like bit by bit and just started drinking it. I think it's about that time. Not gonna lie, I'm a little scared. It is spicy enough because of the Reaper sauce to be a scary thing to ingest all of the liquid from. Yeah, I mean, even aside from the hot sauce, I do think this is pretty good broth. Like, it's not, as much as I think the noodles are kind of shit, the broth is pretty decent. I'm now going to get, like, every vegetable in one gulp. Yeah, the veggies don't even really add flavor at all, even eating them directly. Okay, done with that. So, overall, I would say, ordinarily, I'd give that a 5. It's, like, edible. It's fine. But it doesn't contribute anything to my day. It's not memorable. It's kind of frustrating to eat. If you try to eat it with anything other than chopsticks, it's a much worse experience. It doesn't resemble the experience of eating pho whatsoever. If I'm just comparing it to the average instant ramen, I would say it is an improvement on the average instant ramen. I think if I ate it with the tonkatsu broth, that would add something to it as well. But the Buc-ee's hot sauce definitely kicked it up to a 6. Like, this was a decent experience. I did not hate it. I was not nearly as off-put as I expected to be based on my past experiences eating these. I try to review stuff on this show that I have had more than once so that I know it's not like a fluke. It's not just like a first-time trial. It's like, I know this food. So this was one of the best experiences I've had with this. And a lot of that is the addition of chopsticks, the addition of Buc-ee's hot sauce, and a little extra garlic. That went a long way. But ordinarily, I would not recommend these. I mean, I'm not going to recommend this. Go eat pho. You know, if you are a fan of pho, this will disappoint you. If you've never had pho, this is not a good way to be introduced to it. And if you eat a lot of instant ramen, this might be a good replacement, but it's kind of more expensive. I got these from Costco, so they were cheap because they were from Costco. So if you're a Costco shopper and you've just been trying all the different types of ramen they have and you haven't tried this, maybe give it a shot. I would probably give it a 5 overall as just the standard without any additions. The Buc-ee's hot sauce is obviously a 10 out of 10. That's it for this one. This is my food review show. I also have a show where I cook food. I also have 100 other YouTube channels. Check all that out in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.